Hello and welcome back to the webinar series on Metrology for software. In today's session we're going to take a look at desktop publishing. Desktop publishing is a way of creating professional looking documents that you can send out to your customers. We're going to see how to do this with the software. So once again, here is the Metrology for software. At the moment we're in the instrument section. If I wanted to go to the analysis, then at the bottom, click that tab, and we're now in the analysis section of the software. So to start creating your professional looking documents, we would go new document at the top. And what this does is it brings a blank white page onto the screen. Now, when you're analysing and presenting data, you've got two options. You can either create multiple documents. So let's say, for example, you've got two measurements on a particular part. You could have one measurement on each document, okay? Or alternatively, you could have just one document and you can build up that document. So you could have the first page for your first measurement and then in the same document a different page for your second, for example. So it's totally up to the user. You can have multiple or you can have a single document as well. Okay, so a useful feature in creating documents is this page background. So if I click the icon, you can see now we're in what we call page background mode. And what this allows us to do is this allows us to set the skeleton of the template up. So in this section we could add a company logo, we can add an image if we want, and we can also add things like page numbers. So I'm going to show you just how easy it is to do. So I can first click what we call the color background, okay? And this brings a rectangular area into the screen, okay? I can click and drag to move it, so I'm going to move it to the top. And I'm just, in this example, going to make it a little bit narrower as well, something like that. Okay, we can add a company logo. So the company logo here, we click the icon and we can click and drag. So at the moment it's the Taylor Hobson logo. I will show you afterwards how to change this as well. You simply go change logo and you can select the logo here. But we'll come on to that a little bit later. Page number, so let's say we wanted to display the page number as well. Click page number, we can click and drag to where we want it in the document, so maybe there. We can change the format of this number, so I'm going to select this format. You can change the font, make it a little bit bigger, and also the colour of the text as well. So let's say dark blue. Okay, also user information. So for example, if I double click this now, I want to say, let's please display the username, and also we would like to know when it was created, so the creation date. Okay, as always with each dialog box you can adjust the size and you can position where you want, so let's say there. Okay, so coming back to the company logo and the user information, if I just click company logo one more time, okay, and click change logo here, what this allows us to do is set the user information. So instead of JBlogs, let's put me down, and the company, yeah, it can stay as TH. And if you wanted to set a logo, you would click this browse button here, and it would browse to your image folder there. So you can change it and find your image. Once you press OK, please note that my user information has just changed, and if I did change my logo, that would also change as well. So it's very quick to change. Okay, so I've got everything I want. I've got my logo, my user information, and my page number. I can then save this as a page background. So I'm going to save it, let's save it on the desktop for now. I'm going to call it my page background. And we can then, if we wanted to, define default. So if I click define default, it would say, right, please show me where the page background is. So if I click that, go to desktop and just search for the most recent my page background. We've loaded that in there now. If I press OK, what this does now, if I come out here and click new, then each document I have will now have this page background in. Okay, so this is very useful because if you're measuring a part and you're going to send this out to your customer, you want your document to look a certain way. So having this option as a page background ensures that your documents will always look the same every time you measure. So look, if I click new again, it will look the same. If I insert page after, you can see as well, so page 1 here, if I scroll down, page 2 there. So very useful to have. Okay. So let's now start at looking how we make a template. So we've created our default page background. Now the next step is to create a template in which to analyze an actual measurement. So I'm going to go into this instrument section here. I'm just going to take a quick measurement. So let's call it contour profile. We're going to start from a traverse position of, let's say, 80, and we're going to measure for a length of 22, and we're going to load it into a document called contour. Okay, if I press OK, just to recap from the previous sessions, the live view of the measurement gets displayed, and then it loads into the analysis. Please note as well, the document is called contour, as that's what we've defined in the measurement step, and the measurement name here is contour profile. Okay, so let's just do a quick analysis. I'm going to, for this session, use contour itself. We're going to have a separate video series on contour analysis because it's very, very powerful, but for now I'm just going to briefly go for a quick analysis. So, click contour. This displays the measurement in the contour profile dialog box. I can then come and click full screen. You can see the profile here. So I won't go through the options I'm doing and why. I'm just going to show you some analysis. So let me just create some points here. But contour is very useful. You can do dimensional analysis as well as surface analysis as well. So you can do radii, distances, as well as parameters like RA and RZ. So I'm just going to then go multiple build points. So what this feature does, you can left click and drag, and what that does is it creates points all the way along that profile. So if I click OK now, you can see we've got profile points here. And what that then allows you to do is create things like arcs, like so. And then I'm also going to create maybe, let's do a section here as well on this flat. There we are. Okay, and I'm going to create a flat segment there. And also, lastly, let's just do the intersections of the arc and the flat, and this arc and the flat. Okay, so we've got two arcs here, and we've got a flat section here. We can then analyze for, let's say, radius 1, radius 2. We can look at the residual of this section here, and we can also measure that gap there. Okay, so all of that was pretty quick. Again, we've got a separate session on this to go through how to actually do it in detail. But we've got layout there, and again, you can left click and you can drag and position where you want it to go. So let's say there. For this top profile here, I'm going to click the calculator icon, and I'm just going to do some surface finish analysis. So click roughness, we select the filter we want to use, and then we can go what parameters we want, so RA, RZ. Okay, and we've got that there. We've got radius, and distance. We can choose to define tolerances here as well. So if I left click on one result and click define tolerance limits, this comes up. So we've got all the every parameter that we've analysed for, so radius, distance, RARZ. If I click an individual one, I can then choose to track limits of results. So I'm going to use the value, it should be 1.6, let's have a look, 1.65, and the warning limit can be 0.5, and this tolerance limit can be 0.1. Okay, so you can see we can set a warning limit as well as a pass-fail limit. In this case, that has failed, and then I'm going to do the same for this one and make that pass. So we can do 1.65. Again, we'll do a warning limit for this, 0.5, and we'll do 0.1 as well. And RARZ, let's just track that, and the distance. Let's make this one just hit the warning, so 2.21, let's call that 2.22. Let's work this out, so the warning limit can be, there we go, right, so that's hit the warning. So we've got 1 fail, 3 pass, and 1 warning. If I OK that, you can see the red cross indicates fail, the green ticks indicate pass, and the orange tick indicates it's not failed, but it's in that warning zone as well. So quite a useful feature. Once we're happy with that, we can click close full screen. Okay, and that brings the contour study here. So you can note that it's a bit squashed at the moment. So what you can do, left click and auto scale content. And what that does, it just sizes the window. I can then come in here and maybe lift that up a little bit, and then maybe come and rescale again. So auto scale content again. Okay, so we've got a nice layout there, and we've got this profile here. We don't actually need this profile now. So if I delete this, you'll see now on the workflow, we've got contour profile, which is the name of the measurement. We've got profile curve, which is highlighted here. And then we've got the contour analysis. So if I just delete that from the view, can you see the profile curve is now gone? So I can now position that. Maybe what I'm going to do maybe is just bring that down a little bit. And I'll show you another feature as well. So at the top of the document, it might be a good idea to have what we call like a sort of summary table, for example. So results, table of results, and I'm going to manually select the ones I want, and they get displayed here. You can change the size of the fonts and everything, but for now I'm going to just select the pass and fail, and maybe even the tolerance limits as well. So we can make that a bit bigger, and also if I like click in here and highlight them all, so I'm just going to shift and click, you can then set the font size to be a bit bigger, and also these, so shift and click again, 14 again, just so it's a little bit easier to read, and we can again drag it how we want. So let's say like that. Table of results, we've got the contour there. Also, let's say we want an image of the instrument as well. So let's just change that a little bit. Let's just make that a little bit figure there. And let's see if I've got an image. So I'm just gonna come out of here and go image from file. So I'm just gonna see if I've got one somewhere. Instrument image. So it navigates to your image folder. I can then click that image and we've got an image of the bearing ring and the instrument. And let's say that's what we wanted to also display, just to show. We can move that around. So now I'm running out of room a little bit. So maybe what we do is make the font a little bit smaller. Left click. And maybe just bring that down a touch. Bring that at the top there. And can that image fit in? Let's see. Yeah. Something like that maybe. So we've got the summary table at the top, we've got a picture of the image, and then we've got our contour view here. I'm just going to delete that page now, like that. And we've got our document set up. So I'm going to now save that as a template. So save the document as. I'm going to put it, let's put it on, let's just put it in the documents here. We'll put it in measurement data. I'm just going to call this template. Okay. So let's just now see what we do when we measure and analyze. So I'm going to close that template down. I'm going to just clear the whole screen here. And I'm going to go back into the measurement. Let's call this profile 1. And now I'm going to browse for that template. So browse, we then go into documents, data, template. So now we're going to measure with the same settings, but now set this template up. So click OK. As before, we measure. Once the measurement's taken, it gets loaded into the document, and you can see now we've got our measurement, our table of results, image and contour analysis automatically displayed, and the layout has been saved. We can then, if we wish, we could manually save this PDF. I'll show you how to do it automatically in a second, but just to do this quick, PDF, let's call it contour, press save. And you get the PDF printout as well. So again, everything here, image and contour analysis as well. Okay, so the next useful, very useful feature to show is the ability to analyze in a batch format automatically. So let's pretend you've measured a profile or you've measured a part numerous times, and at the point of measurement you forgot to apply a template. Or alternatively, perhaps you've analysed before, but the template you've analysed was wrong, or it's outdated now. So you've got these batch of profiles and you want to quickly analyse them with a template. How do you do this? So I'm going to just close this here. And the first step is to go File, Apply Template. This then brings up a dialog box and it says, right, please select the template you wish to use. So come into here, Documents Measurement Template. You can see we've stored the template here. And then it says, right, which profiles do you wish to use in the analysis? So select files, and we can have the option of single file or folder. In this case, I'm going to click folder, and we browse for the location. So documents, measurement data is my location. and where are the files. So here are my files I wish to load, and I'm just going to delete some of them. We'll do, I don't know, for this example, well, let's just do 5. So I'm just going to delete these like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just do that. I'll do for now. Okay, so we've got 5 profiles there. At the bottom here, you say, right, what export do you want? So we can export to PDF. That's great. And let's click this one, which says export results in a single text file, and we'll show what that does. And the bottom section here as well, save generated documents. We're going to save it in the same folder as the template. Okay, so press OK, and it goes through analysing each measurement. So once all of your measurements have been analysed, it says success. It tells you you've generated 5 documents, you've got 5 PDF results, and you've also got some text results as well. So we can now OK that. Okay, and if I go into that folder, bring it on here, you can see we've got our PDFs, we've got our profiles, and we've got our mountains documents. So PDF, if I click on one, previews here, a bit big as you can see. So there's number 1, number 2, 3, 4, and 5. We've got our MNT, the profiles, and the CSV. So because I click text, you also get a CSV. If I open this with Excel, then it's possible to get all of your results in a CSV format as well. So it's totally up to you. It's totally user defined. You can just have PDFs. You could just have the CSV if you wanted to, but it's a nice little feature to automatically analyze all of your data. And that concludes the demonstration on desktop publishing.